First thing you want to do is disconnect the negative cable from your car battery. Disengage both ends of the threshold panel by spreading the edges. Very carefully pull straight up to remove and repeat on the other side. Use a plastic panel tool to remove the snap. Carefully pull the kick panel to the right towards the pedals. 2 small snaps actually secure it. Check for green snaps that may have not come off with the kick panel, and then reinsert the green snaps to the kick panel if any did come off. Remove driver and passenger side rear panels. Loosen weather stripping by hand and remove carefully in an outward direction. Use a 10mm socket to remove the bolt securing the bottom of the seat cushion. Push down on the center of the back side of the cushion to release the locking tab, then remove the bottom seat cushion. Use a plastic panel tool to remove the push-in snap at the bottom of the rear panel. Once that is done, fold down the rear seats. Use a plastic panel tool and remove the 2 push-in snaps at the rear of the panel. Carefully disengage the snaps one by one and pull the rear panel towards you and away to remove. Check the panel for any missing snaps that may be still attached to the vehicle. Make sure to repeat these steps on the other side of the vehicle. Use a utility knife and cut a U-shaped slot approximately 1 inch wide and 2 inches high in the area located here on the passenger side trunk panel. This will provide access for the harness plugs to the amplifiers. Remove the trunk carpet and the floorboard. Use a plastic panel tool to remove the push-in snap on the passenger side of the trunk. Here, install a smaller size speed nut on the mounting hole. Locate the 2-hole bracket behind the passenger side trunk carpet panel. Use pliers to flatten out the bracket behind the 2-hole bracket. Install and position the 1 by 19.5mm speed clip so that it aligns with the 2 holes on this bracket. Use a plastic panel tool to remove the 3 push-in snaps, securing the foam supports between the back seat and the spare tire. Use a plastic panel tool to remove the push-in snap on top of the factory amplifier. Next, lift the foam support up and fold it over so it rests on top of the rear back seat rest. Disconnect the 10-pin factory amp connector. Run the quick sync harness amplifier connectors through the slot previously cut. Pass through one connector at a time to make it easier. Using the factory ground located behind the rear passenger side trim panel, remove the 10mm ground nut and install the harness ground together with the factory ground. Reinstall the 10mm bolt on top of that. Do make sure the harness ground terminal rests on top of the factory ground terminal. Now you want to run this ground wire with existing factory wire and securing it using the provided cable ties.
Route the harness and gain control cable through the channel provided under the foam support towards the driver's side of the vehicle. The gain control cable will follow alongside the wire and harness all the way to the front of the vehicle. Disconnect the 10-pin connection from the factory amplifier. Connect the factory male amplifier connector to the female connector of the gain compensation filter. Then connect the male connector of the gain compensation filter to the 10-pin location of the factory amplifier. If any resistance is found on the connector, check to verify that there is no locking tab preventing the connector from sliding in with ease. In the event that there is a locking tab in place, go ahead and clear the channel up by using a utility knife or a flush wire cutter.
Continue to route the quick sync harness toward the driver's side of the vehicle and secure to the existing factory wires using provided cable ties. Now we want to reinstall both the driver and passenger side trim panels and the rear seat cushions. Lift the carpet by disengaging the white plastic clips in the driver's side threshold area and continue routing the harness underneath the carpet towards the driver's side kick panel area. Reinstall the carpet clips and the weather stripping. Reinstall the foam support, the trunk floorboard, and the carpet.
Your OEM Audio Plus dual amplifier assembly has the majority of the connections already plugged in. For the sake of these instructions, we will review these connections. Speaker is plugged directly into the subwoofer system. This is the output of your dedicated sub-amplifier. The green connection on the same side of the amplifier is for power and ground. On the other side of the amplifier, the gain control cable is plugged into its designated receptacle, and the input port receives signal from the subwoofer output of the main amplifier. For the sake of this installation, you will be exclusively plugging in the green power and ground connection to its designated receptacle and plugging the 20-pin connection to the system connector of your main OEM Audio Plus amplifier. These two connections complete your 500 series connectivity. Be sure to run the gain control cable with the main quicksync wiring harness for the length of the quicksync wiring harness run.
Now we want to place the subwoofer enclosure in position and install the M6 1x60mm screw on the back side to secure the enclosure. Shifting the enclosure may be necessary to align the holes. Do not fully tighten quite yet. Install the M6 1x35mm quick release knob screw on the front side of the enclosure. Once the subwoofer enclosure is aligned, secure by tightening both mounting screws.
Remove factory rear speaker. Disconnect the rear speaker connector. Remove the two number 2 Phillips screws holding the factory rear speaker in place and remove the speaker. With a precision screwdriver or pick tool, lift the locking tab on the factory connector. This tab only needs to be lifted slightly to release the pins in the connector. You will see the tab lifted, yet level, when properly disengaged. With the wire you intend on removing in your grasp, use a precision tool to disengage the locking tab within the connector housing securing the terminal. When the locking tab is disengaged, the terminal will pull out with ease. Repeat these steps for both wires. Remove factory speaker connector from the assembly and transport to your OEM Audio Plus speaker assembly. Insert the 4-inch OEM Audio Plus rear speaker terminals into the factory connector housing in the same orientation as the factory wiring. The terminal closest to the face of the speaker is positive, the other terminal is negative. The terminals will slide into the housing and will click when engaged. Once all terminals are inserted, re-engage the locking tab on the connector. Mount the 4-inch OEM Audio Plus rear speaker by using the two number 2 Phillips screws and reinstall the rear speaker connector.
Locate the factory wiring harness grommet. It's on the driver's side of the engine bay, adjacent to the brake master cylinder. We want to cut off the tip of the grommet nipple. Return to the driver's side under dash and route the 2 yellow power wires through the firewall grommet. Lubricate accordingly to prevent binding. Run the entire length of the power wire, then pull back by 1 inch, apply a bead of silicone sealant to the wire, and push the wire with a silicone to seal the opening. Install the 1/4 inch corrugated split loom onto the power wires. Run the entire length of the firewall grommet. Run the loomed power wires across the engine bay towards the battery. Secure to existing factory wiring using cable ties. Note that you want to run the power wires directly underneath the windshield wiper cowl.
Insert the stripped 10-gauge power wire into its designated butt connector. The A power wire is coupled with the 20 amp fuse, and the B power wire is associated with the 30 amp fuse.
Crimp and apply heat to both butt connectors to activate the solder and heat shrink insulator for the best connection possible. Remove the 12mm top nut from the battery's positive terminal and install the fuse holder ring terminal. Reinstall the 12mm nut and tighten. Make sure not to install fuses at this time.
The gain control cable is designed to install in the end user's preferred mounting location. Some of the most common locations are under the steering column, in the glove box, or in the center console. This gain control knob will allow adjustability of the subwoofer output, allowing you to achieve balance, full, or robust low frequency response.
Make sure you have a protective blanket over the center stack transmission area to protect from scratches during radio removal. Remove the radio trim panel by loosening outer edge by using the plastic panel tool or by hand. Disengage snaps by pulling towards you. Use a 10mm socket to remove the 4 bolts securing the radio. All radio connectors have a locking tab that you must push down to disconnect. Carefully remove each connector, then set the radio aside. Route the quick sync harness under the driver's side dash and towards the radio cavity. The two yellow power wires must remain separate on the driver's side kick panel for now. Secure the harness to the existing gray factory wires using the provided cable ties. Route the harness towards the radio cavity until the connectors are visible. Connect the quick sync harness to the factory harness and the radio, 10-pin and 6-pin connectors.
Plug the OEM Audio Plus Quick Sync harness, 10-pin and 6-pin connectors back into the radio.
Make sure they are fully inserted and securely locked in place. Reinstall the radio and the trim panel. Using either a panel or pick tool, disengage the door locking tab here. Remove the small screw cover behind the interior door latch. It is best to remove and set aside to avoid it falling off and being misplaced. Remove the number 2 Phillips screw behind the door latch. Remove the silver trim from the door handle. The tool insertion slot is located at the bottom of the trim. Remove the two number 2 Phillips screws securing the grab handle. Next, using your hands or a panel tool, you want to disengage the clips behind the door panel one at a time. You want to start at the bottom, then the sides, and finish at the top. Use gentle force to remove this door panel. Carefully disconnect the window and door lock control connectors from the door panel. Remove the door latch assembly from the door panel by unsnapping and lifting the latch connectors. The connectors need to be reassembled in the same orientation, the white on top, the green on the bottom. Now we just want to set the door panel aside. Disconnect the 6.5 speaker connector. Then remove the 3 Phillips screws, holding the factory speaker in place, and remove the speaker. Mount the 6.5-inch OEM Audio Plus speakers by using the 3 Phillips screws, and then reinstall the speaker connector. Now it is time to reassemble the door in the reverse order, taking time to ensure that all clips have been engaged. Failure to securely reinstall the door panel may result in some rattles.
Dash speaker installation. Remove dash speaker grills. Very carefully disengage the speaker grill on the dashboard using a plastic panel or pick tool. Once loosened, lift straight up, then away to remove. Disconnect the tweeter connector in order to remove the speaker grill. With the speaker grill outside of the vehicle, identify the rear inside locking tooth. Extend the depth of the tooth by cutting across 1/4 inch below the existing depth. Do not exceed the cut further than the existing vertical shape. Cut down, meeting your first cut to complete the right angle. This will allow your speaker grill to rest flush when reinstalled with the depth of your new 4-inch OEM Audio Plus dash speaker. Remove the two 10mm bolts holding the factory dash speaker in place. Remove the factory mounting hardware from the speaker location. Install the provided M6 speed clip to the speaker mounting location. Position the OEM Audio Plus 4-inch speaker and reinstall dash speaker connector. Mount the 4-inch OEM Audio Plus dash speaker using the two M5 10mm bolts. Hand tighten to ensure no binding, then tighten completely with a 10mm wrench. Connect the tweeter connector and make sure to secure with the built-in locking tab. Reinstall the speaker grill by sliding the back end in first. Push the front side of the speaker grill straight down until it snaps back into place. Repeat these steps for the other tweeter. Insert the 20 amp fuse for the A power wire for the main amplifier, and the 30 amp fuse for the B power wire for the dedicated sub amplifier. Reconnect battery and tighten.